Hello, I'm Pafua Yang in Plymouth. Our news team is out in the northwest suburbs every day bringing you news and information from your community. Here's a look at today's stories. And remember, you can always find more on our website, ccxmedia.org.
It's just devastating. I just feel so terrible for the people that live here.
Charred remains are the only thing left of what were once 2 townhome units.
I don't like to see any damage like that. And the smell is just nasty, the burn smell.
This is the aftermath of a fire that started Wednesday morning in a townhome along Harold Avenue in Golden Valley.
I would say in my 39-year career, this is in the top 20. Very significant fire, and we're lucky that only 2 units were destroyed in this fire.
Officials from the Golden Valley Fire Department say they received a call about the fire shortly after 8:30 Wednesday morning. When crews arrived, the back of the building was fully involved.
As far as fires I've seen in my career, this definitely was a very significant, fast-moving fire that was impacting people and structures.
But it's what happened before firefighters got on scene that Fire Chief John Crelly wanted to highlight.
When we were over in the parking lot here getting ready to mark a couple of trees, we noticed the fire here.
Bob Thielen works for the city's park department.
I was turning left to go back home like I do every day, and I saw some smoke over the trees, and I was thinking, seems a little odd.
And Jack Graven is a nearby resident who was on his morning coffee run.
Flames were coming out the windows, smoke was coming out the front door.
Immediately, they all made their way to the home to see if anyone needed help.
We noticed the 3 people that were outside of their building sitting on the doorway.
And we helped get the older man outside of the house, keep him warm, get him across the street. And then I actually happened to be up north hunting this last weekend, so I had all my warm clothes in the back of my truck. They were in shorts and t-shirts, so I just grabbed jackets, hats, whatever I had, and made sure they stayed warm and stayed safe.
Investigators say the actions of Jack and the city employees helped immensely.
Based on the way this fire was growing and moving, if these 3 individuals had not stepped up to the plate to help rescue the 3 people, there certainly would have been fatalities.
All told, the fire destroyed 2 townhomes and a neighboring unit had partial damage, while the cause is still under investigation. But it's the heroic efforts of several concerned people who helped an already devastating situation from turning out much worse.
If my family or if myself were in this situation, I'd hope that someone would stop and help, just like myself and the others did.
In Golden Valley, Delaney Cleveland, CCX News.
Campaign signs can be seen scattered throughout local communities. But this year, signs for Crystal mayoral candidates got a little creative.
I'm campaigning by first name as the emphasis. That actually helps differentiate the 2 different Adamses quite a bit.
Steve Adams is challenging current Mayor Jim Adams. That means voters will be seeing double on their ballots.
I came up with a catchphrase, a little rhyme that helps differentiate Jim from Steve, and I put on there to vote Jim, not him.
It's almost flattering to be called out. So, it did force him to have to recognize his opponent.
Apart from their first names, the 2 candidates can easily be distinguished by their views, such as finances.
Our current mayor absolutely refuses to use bonding, and right now we're at a point where bonding is an all-time low. It hasn't been lower since coming out of World War II, so we're below 1% interest rates on bonds for cities.
Steve Adams, a local business owner, accuses the current mayor of being financially irresponsible by boosting residents' water bills and property taxes instead of using low-interest bonds to pay for expensive projects.
I don't like using debt.
But Jim Adams says the city's use of cash instead of bonds helped the city in its response to the pandemic.
My goals, my financial plan is to get rid of debt. That allows us to have more discretionary income in Crystal, and it gives us a better opportunity to react to unforeseen circumstances.
Because of their differences, both candidates encourage voters to do research and pay attention to their full name.
Which is why we campaign using first name as the emphasis versus more than the last name. Jim has picked that up too and started using that too as far as his campaign.
In Crystal, Pafua Yang, CCX News.
We started about 10 years ago and we'd buy a lot of stuff. So then we started making things instead of buying it. We have so much foliage and trees in our yard. There's always branches coming down. And we're probably the only people that go to Plymouth yard recycling and drag stuff home.
Whatever falls to the ground, we assemble it and try to create something out of it.
This was the first one that I did. It's things from the yard. That's what most of them are, just things from the yard. This is made from ferns, hydrangea, coneflowers, and this is millet. We don't try to make it threatening. There'll be some stuff that's a little edgy. We like when the kids come by and they light up, they ask us questions and they want to walk in the yard, and that makes us happy.
It's pretty fun and a little scary.
You don't see too many people decorating like this nowadays, so it's a nice treat.
Once it gets dark, it has a whole different feel. It gives us an avenue for creativity. We've always liked it as a holiday. It's really our favorite. The neighborhood loves it, the family loves it, and the kids do. So, I mean, what could be better?
The Maple Grove volleyball team is off to an unbeaten start to the season. Jay Wilcox has more on their latest win.
Northwest Suburban Conference volleyball leader Maple Grove hosts Rogers. Maple Grove's on the right. Egan Liu sets it to Skylar Gray for the big swing, and the Crimson go up 13-6 in set one. Off the Royals serve, Emma Schaefer with the good pass to Liu, who tees it up for Elise Rossing for the kill, and a 20-12 lead. Maple Grove wins set one, 25-19. Good serve receive again for the Crimson, and they get into their offense quick. Elizabeth O'Callahan in the middle gets the kill in a close second set. Maple Grove's ball handling is sharp throughout. They go to Rossing for the cross-court hit and pull out a 25-20 victory in set two. In the third, Liu goes quick to Kara Sear in the middle, and she finds the corner for a kill and a 16-9 lead. Maple Grove wins the third 25-15 and stays undefeated with a sweep of a good Rogers team. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Wayzata volleyball team is coming off a state championship season. Here's Jay again with an update on the Trojans.
It's anything but a typical season due to COVID-19, but it's so far so good for the Wayzata Trojans. They graduated a lot from their state championship team of last fall, but are playing very well in this late starting season.
I feel great so far. The practice environment is super competitive. We have a lot of girls fighting for spots. There's a lot of passion. I would say passion is huge, and I think something that we are all keeping in mind is that we are representing players who have played before us, so the way we play reflects not just on Wayzata varsity volleyball, it reflects on previous teams, younger teams, everything.
Saturday tournaments against a wide variety of top-level competition is one big item missing on every team's schedule due to COVID. It's disappointing, but has some positives too.
When you're running a team and there's 4 or 5 matches in a weekend, you do worry about overuse, and you have to be smart as an adult about how you're practicing them leading into that event and coming out of such an event. Where we really don't have that right now, like the concept of overuse injuries right now is really not part of my thinking as a coach with a more limited schedule, which is, it's good in the sense that we're keeping kids healthy, but it's a bummer not to see, that cross section of teams. You just see one a night. And
after claiming that 3A title and starting 5-0 this fall, Wayzata's ranked number 1 in the state poll.
Yeah, it feels like it. I mean, our team, based off the matches we've already had, they've been going well. And we've been working our hardest in the gym all the time and even out of the gym, working out on our own. So it feels like number 1 really represents our team.
They won't be back at the Excel Center for a chance at defending their title, but the Trojans are looking at the bigger picture.
It was definitely upsetting when we first found out, but overall, we're thankful to have a season in general. We're thankful that it's happening in fall, thankful that we have 14 consecutive games to play. And
The Wayzata girls aren't thinking about what's missing, but instead enjoying a season they thought might not happen. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Trojans added wins over Buffalo and Hopkins this week to improve to 7-0. And you'll be able to see the Wayzata and Maple Grove volleyball teams in full match coverage here in the week ahead on CCX. Wednesday night, it's Wayzata at St. Michael Albertville in the Lake Conference match. See it live on CCX channels 799 and 12 and online at ccxmedia.org. Thursday, it's a rematch between two of the best teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference as Maple Grove visits Champlin Park. The Crimson handed the Rebels their only loss early in the season. Watch that one live as well on CCX and ccxmedia.org. That's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.